Next we have the KOFXIII, her projectile. Just the basic zoning tool. This is the A version, and this is the C version, and this is the EX version. Obviously the A version has a little more startup, but it doesn't have that much recovery. Now you get good frame advantage on block if you hit the opponent with this. Not on block, I mean on hit. You can actually connect a normal after the projectile. It's a little bit difficult to do. See, you can actually connect a normal after the projectile, so you do get a frame advantage on hit. And of course, the C version, it doesn't have that much startup, but you get the recovery is a bit more laggy. And obviously, there's the EX version, which will eat other regular projectiles except for DM ones and other EX ones. So just be careful about this move, and you can just use this to zone them out a little bit, much like you do with a King or Athena, or even Kyo. Well, you should be using these to start an offense, and to confuse your opponent and whatnot. So, a pretty decent projectile overall. So, now we have Heritsatsu. This move. Now, I have quite unique feelings about this move. This move is actually unsafe on block. This is the A version. B version, I'm sorry. Light kick. This is the D version. Has a little more range, hits 3 times. And of course, this is the EX version. Yeah. So, please, this move is unsafe on block in general, except for the EX version, so don't just throw this move out here, please. If you want to throw something out, just do this or something. Or this. Or this. Now, this move can actually function as a pretty decent anti-air, but the opponent has to be like way up there. I mean, the opponent would have to be telegraphing their jump-ins or something like that for you to actually use this move. Otherwise, just don't throw that out there. You can just resort to this for anti-airing, or just air throwing. So that's just something to keep in mind. You can combo into this move. And as for the D version, sure, this has a little more range, but it's still unsafe on block. Now, there's one more hit on the last on the EX version, so it's relatively safe on block, except for one frame command grabs. So you can use this to actually start a juggle combo. Something along those lines. So just be careful about this move. You're better off just comboing into it, really. Alright, so next we have my favorite move, Musasabi no Mai. You want to know what this move actually is? This. That's the Musasabi no Mai. It's down, charge up. You can press any punch you like. It won't matter. Now, I need you to notice something about this move. Look at Mai's meter. Excuse me. So Mai is basically just building meter just by simply moving around. That will give you incentive to actually use this. This move is very good for getting out of pressure, starting an offense, punishing badly timed projectiles theoretically. Let's test this. Something along those lines. sure, you can use this for offensive measures as well, and for defensive measures. So overall, this is a really good move, and people should really start using this. Should really start using this more often. So yeah, this is basically the Musashi no Mai. It cancels into jumping down like kick as well. That which also cancels into her special moves. That is, if it actually contacts the opponent. And next we have her now, of course, the second version of the Musashi no Mai that I was supposed to actually explain earlier, because the punch option came before the version I just described. So here, you have the if Maya's on the wall, you have the option to actually just perform a her nosedive attack. So if you hold the punch button while performing this move, she will do this. But if you don't hold the punch button, she just simply slides off the wall. There's not much whiff recovery on this either, so you can pretty much stay on the move immediately after landing from the Musashi no Mai. So always keep this in mind. This is one of Maya's most important tools. So use this to move around. You can use this to aggravate the opponent. Or play a little bit of mind games. If you hold the punch button, what are you going to do? Fool the opponent into just plain overly aggressive. And this is why Maya is popular for dealing with overly aggressive opponents, or just impatient ones. Next we have the quarter circle back version of her Musashi no Mai, which is her nosedive. Now, much like this move, this is also unsafe on block theoretically, but you can also make this move safe as well. That is, if you aim towards the opponent's legs. Now, if you're like way up here, like way above the opponent's head, then it's really unsafe on block, obviously. To elaborate a bit more, on Maya's air version of Musashi no Mai, it is unsafe on block, but you can organize a situation where it is tough to block if you aim towards the opponent's leg and if they block you. Now, you might want to avoid doing this if the opponent has a command grab of a sort, especially a one-frame command grab like Yuri, for example. You can also use this move during backdashes as well, just to play a little bit of mind games with your opponent. And you can also bait your opponent out somehow, like super jumps, for example, and then you can punish them for that. And as for the EX version, that's safe on block, leaves her at 0 frames, neutral, and she can also combo after the fact as well if she hits the opponent with this. Now we're going to move on to super moves and, well, desperation moves rather. These are the list of desperation moves in her Neo Max. This is what her desperation move actually looks like. Not particularly useful by itself as it's very unsafe on block. It doesn't have invincibility startup, and you're generally better off just comboing into it really, or super canceling into it for the damage. So don't rely on this too much. And of course you can obviously use this in midair. So it's something to keep in mind if you're max canceling into her Neo Max, but that's about it as far as usage is concerned. So just be careful about this move. And of course we have her EX version. It travels a bit further. It has 7 frame startup, invincibility throughout. It has invincibility startup. So you can use this as a legitimate reversal, a wake-up option. You can also combo into this move, you can use this in midair, and you can also combo after this move as well. Get that reset, and then you can continue whatever you were doing. So now we have her Neomax right on the very bottom of that list. Now by itself, it's very useful. You can pretty much punish anything you want to. A whiffed normal, a whiffed special move, a projectile, a jump, a badly timed roll, anything. Excuse me. So this you can actually use by itself, and you can also combo it. You can actually combo into it as well. Something along those lines. There's going to be more elaborate examples later on, and of course you can actually use this in midair as well. This is one of the best Neomaxes in the game, believe it or not. Of course, it's not safe on block. You'll have time to you can do things to bait out bad moves off of your opponent. Do things to make them impatient, make them want to jump, or make them want to make a mistake. Just play a little bit of mind games. What should we focus on now? Her combos. Short-term combos. Oh yeah. Now is a good time for us to talk about Mai's bread and butter combos. Meterless combos. Here's a good one. Remember that far stating A will cancel into special moves. Just keep that in mind. And we also have this. Get the reset. And here for meterless combos you can also do things like this, for example, at the mid-screen. Again, be careful about using C Ruinbu because the first hit might whiff at a certain distance. Make sure you're on your opponent while you're using that. And of course you can just do this. Get that corner carry. And of course you can also resort to links as well. Linking crouching A and crouching C. In the corner you have this to consider as well. Off of crouching, off of KOFXIII, A version KOFXIII, you get good frame advantage on hit. It's a pretty good combo to use in the corner. And of course, she can also combo off her CD attack on counter hit. Excuse me. Use that air throw to get the hard knockdown. In the corner, she has this. Now, what needs to be understood is that Mai's damage output is generally low. So you're going to have to take the same approach as you would with the likes of King, for example. Just resort to short-term combos until you can build a meter, because Mai's damage output gets really high when she has a lot of meter available. At least, you know, a bar and a drive. And speaking of bar and drive combos, let's focus on meter options. Now, we're going to see what Mai is capable of in terms of drive cancels, drive combos. Hypothetically, what if Mai had a 50% drive meter? What can she do with that? What would she be capable of? Let's give her 50% drive. Now, what needs to be understood is that drive meter is only going to fill if you're attacking your opponent on a successful basis, as you can see. Now, super meter is going to fill indefinitely if you're getting hit, or if you're whiffing special moves that are not projectiles, unless you're still hitting the opponent. So, what can she do with 50% drive? Well, she can resort to things like this. Oops, missed a hard punch there. I will demonstrate this combo again. Or she can resort to things like this. Hard knockdown. And then she can continue her offensive pressure from there, her rush down.